Any thought of ever going back to WWE or WWF or NXT? Like any thought of kind of going back or no? Not on
Yeah,
your
well,
radar.
I guess it's an internal conversation, and it would just depend on the means and the plans. So I would never say never. I would not say no, but like I'm not going to go. Yep, I think about it all the time, and it's not happening because that would manifest failure, which I don't. So considering, I would consider any option, and there's no ill will or bad blood there. So
When you look at the way it happened, like the way you released, they didn't really use you much on TV. Does that stick in your craw at all? Just as far as like, hey, like you could have used me a lot better.
yeah, anybody can say that. Like I'm not the first, and I won't be the last. I think one thing that I've grown out of is the tired mentality, and I think a lot of people within wrestling carry this of resentment. So being released from the first time, I won't lie and say that a vendetta to prove people wrong was not one of my main motivations, and which drove me to great levels of success, becoming EC3, becoming a two-time world heavyweight champion, carrying a promotion on my back, having that ability, which never would have happened if I didn't get released. So I would not be who I am, and I'm very happy with who I am. Looking back on that, it was an awful run. It was not good. I had a terrible. The run started bad, it got worse, and then I had a really bad concussion. Then there was a quote pandemic end quote that, you know, a lot of people lost their jobs during. So could it have been better? Yes. If it was better, would I be in this position? Who knows? I don't carry resentment. I can only accept blame and accountability for myself for not doing what probably would have been necessary to succeed in that place at that time, which I didn't do. So the bad blood, no, like resentment, and you carry it with you, it's going to control you. And I do not let that happen.
When you look at it, were you allowed to pitch ideas and stuff when you like look back? Because it seems like you're full of ideas. You're kind of an idea man. Like, were you able to do that or not really?
Yeah, I'm a genius. So are you allowed to pitch ideas? The answer is yes. The ways and means of pitching ideas and them going up the chain properly to you know, the one set of eyeballs that matters.
Yep.
If you have the tenacity and the courage to do it sometimes, but also it's a very hard meeting to get. You're standing outside of a door for 3 hours. You don't know what kind of mood you're going to walk into. I think that's a problem with a lot of people who have great ideas. Pitching it up the chain from writers to producers for where it needs to go, a lot can get lost. So you're always allowed to pitch ideas. You can have a conversation with anybody. Is it going to go anywhere, though? That's the question.
I always hear that, like, oh, there's a line and this and that. I mean, it didn't always used to be that way from older wrestlers that I've spoken to.
It
Many
certainly,
throughout the years changed.
it certainly seemed there was more accessibility in the past, especially when creatively the company was thriving. I mean, whatever they're doing though is working if they're making more money than ever, and they sold for, I don't know, was it 50 billion? Like
9.3 billion. Yeah.
why not? Still a lot of billions. Okay.